Maybe it's taken out of the other window, but this is what Buzz is seeing. So you can see as he pitched over, the computer was going to land right on the field on the edge of this crater, which resulted in a crash landing.
10 and 50 feet down, 4. Straight down. 4 forward. 4 forward, drift into the right level. 6, down and a half. 30 seconds over. 8. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. ATA at a descent. Power control both on, descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 113 is in. We copy it down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Rocket Tranquility, we copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again.
That there's a small U.S. Geological Survey branch in Flagstaff, and this group was located there in 1963. It was the current occupant. If you've ever been to Flagstaff and you're familiar with the area at all, there's a park there, Buffalo Park, and this is on a mesa right above, right near that park.
Ignore my kids playing Mario, but look at this NASA map of the moon. As a visual artist, holy smokes, I'm just blown away by these amazing colors and how the moon has gone mapped. So these are deep craters you're seeing. It's so cool how they've all been named. Hilbert, for example. And so the next mission to the moon is going to the South Pole. And you can see, like this color, this must mean how cold it is, because when I was talking with the NASA volunteer, he was saying that it's such a cold region and so many of the craters that are covering the South Pole are filled with frozen water. So that's super interesting. So I'm taking an educated guess to say that this dark blue, dark purple area is the part of the moon that does not ever see the light of the sun. So this is a lunar chart looking a lot more like we commonly understand the moon to look like, this dark, magical orb in the sky. And so it's so cool to learn all the different ways that humans have come to understand the moon, a distant planet, from just studying satellites and visiting the moon only a handful of times. So zooming in a little bit closer here, we can see some of the Apollo missions. That's this area Here, Apollo 12 landed there, Apollo 14 landed there, Apollo 16, and there, Apollo 11, where man first walked on the moon. So anchored with lovely Gatorades here is a poster I got at the Mon Orchid Gallery. Isn't this just lovely? So barnstorming the moon. And this is just one of those gorgeous moon photographs. So you saw a couple of them from when I was actually at the gallery. I wish I could have had more time to look, but that's the fun of having little children, right? So here, let's just look and really appreciate the gorgeousness of this lunar landscape. And with the advancement of photography and videography, I am really curious to see the kind of images that come back after the next lunar mission. So as sometimes happens when I go to events with my kids, I don't necessarily make it to the end. So as you see in the video, I went to the panel and was learning all this interesting stuff, which I hope you really enjoy. But I didn't make it to the part about what happens next. So there are plans to go back to the moon. There are plans to go to Mars. So there's so many interesting things happening in space. Ooh, which is up above. So thank you so much for joining me on my video about celebrating the 50th anniversary of the day that man walked on the moon, July 20th. Well, 2019. So 50 years ago, this monumental event happened. And I love writing about the moon. I love writing about fantasy worlds that involve celestial bodies and creating really cool stories. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Please check out my novels, and also please stay tuned for World Space Week, which is at the beginning of October. So I will see you then, and I'll put my NASA suit back on. But for now, thank you so much for joining me. This is Alexis Marie Chute signing off.